One of the greatest leadership conversations we can have is around the word alignment. A lot of times as leaders, we try to get people to agree with us instead of trying to align them with the mission. And maybe it's instinctive, sure, because no one really likes to be disagreed with. Some people like to argue, but no one really likes to be disagreed with, right? Especially in a leadership position. Now, however, when you position it as an agreement conversation, then you're setting it up for people to not agree and not to please you. In my book, Communication Culture, Volume 1, of Chapter 37, this is the goal is agreement, then with a strike through of it. The goal is not agreement, the goal is alignment. And what happens when we as leaders position the goal as agreement, then everyone has to agree with me. And if they don't agree with me, then, well, who knows what I might do to them or to the organization as a whole, right? Like the reason this matters to you and it matters to me is I want to solve the problem of division and disunity. And it's everywhere. Here in Q4 of 2025, I mean, there's never been more opportunities for us to be divided, or even said a different way, for us to be misaligned. So as leaders, it's all the more important for us to lead towards alignment. Now, what are we trying to be aligned towards? Well, that's everything from the mission, vision, and values statements, right? Like it's everything that governs the organization. And it's not a feeling. You have feelings about the thing, but alignment is not a feeling. It's actually a percentage. It's not all or nothing. It's not, like you flip the light switch on or off. It's not that. It's to what percentage are we aligned? And that's a better question to ask than to what percentage do we agree? Because agreement is ultimately based all around our preferences. And you've got preferences, and I do too, and about things that are really, really important, like what order the dishes go in the dishwasher. Like that's super important. And I don't know how you resonate with that. I mean, we've got preferences over ways that we dunk an Oreo cookie in milk, or don't dunk it in milk at all. We just take a bite, then take a drink of milk, or however that works for you. Like we've got preferences on all kinds of things. And when we as leaders try to lead towards agreement, then we're bringing all of those preferences in place. Now, what's absolutely true is we can be aligned on the mission and misaligned on the modalities that it takes to get there. We can absolutely agree on the mission. We can be aligned under the mission, but misaligned on the methods on how we get there. There are lots of different ways we can position it, but make no mistake about it, leaders. We're the ones who pre-frame the conversation. Then we frame the conversation. This is what we're talking about. And then sometimes because of miscommunication, because of the circumstances that are happening, we've got to come back after the conversation and reframe the conversation. This is what actually just happened. And that's not something that we're, sometimes that's in our blind spots. Sometimes that's not something that we see very, very clearly. I'm holding an imaginary picture frame that I got from the $1.25 tree. That's where I get my picture frames. And what I want you to consider as a leader, to the extent that we're not trying to pre-frame the conversation, we're trying to set the expectations on what we're actually trying to achieve with this conversation. Not for my agreement or for my benefit, but for the benefit of the most people. A friend of mine, Marcus McIntyre, was a state representative in Oklahoma, and he came and he did a talk at a leadership group that I was in, and he said, we need to trade compromise for consensus, because whenever we talk about a compromise, we're focusing on what? I mean, you know the answer to that. When you have a compromise, do you focus on what you got out of it or what you gave up? In my world as a speaker, A compromise might be like, well, I got to speak. I didn't get full fee, but I got to speak. If I say it that way, do you hear, well, fantastic. At least I got a chance to speak and to share the message that I have, which I believe is medicine to this world that we're in. Is that what you hear? Or do you hear, well, I got to talk, but I mean, I didn't do it for free, but I didn't get paid my full money. Like, it just kind of depends on what you're looking for. Okay, well, now we're all the way back to chapter 32. The first thing I want everybody to think about when they read this book is chapter 32, and I say it from the stage. When you open it, when you get your copy of the book, open it to chapter 32, because chapter 32 simply says you will find what you're looking for. And if you're looking for a book that you need to use as a fly swatter, because who knows what sort of bug or bee or whatever's going to be out with you when you're by the lake, which is where I am right now, then it'll be a great fly swatter for you. If that's what you want out of this book, that's what you'll get. If you need it to be a doorstop, it'll find that too. You need it to be a paperweight, all right, it can do that too. And if it's a tool that's going to help you have better conversations at work, at home, and in your community, both online and off, if that's what you're hoping it will be, that's what it will be. You will find what you're looking for. And that's not a brand new idea for me. I didn't come up with it. There's a thing that's built inside of us called the reticular activating system, the RAS. And that simply means whatever you're looking for, you're going to find more of it. My car over here that I drove out here to the lake, it's a 2019 Jeep, and I didn't really think a lot about 2019 Jeeps until I saw this Jeep, and I thought, man, I'm needing a new vehicle anyway. That'd be a nice one to get. And then you know what I started seeing a lot? Yeah, black Jeeps. I'm sure they weren't all 2019s, right? But I'm no different than you. Whenever there's something that I'm looking for, I see a lot more of it. Now let's bring it back to alignment. If you're looking for things to happen that don't meet your preferences, you're going to find a lot more of it. If you're looking for things that you don't agree with, you're going to find loads of it. In many different ways, many different areas, many different things. That's not tricky. You already know that. But where it sits in your blind spot is sometimes you think, well, I'll be able to catch myself. Sometimes I'll be able to navigate around it. But the truth is, you've got blind spots too, just like I do. And we've all stepped in some things that we didn't see coming. Which is why, when I look at the central problem of division and disunity, and the reason I want to own the real estate and solving that problem, I want to be the one that you think about when you think, man, we just seem kind of divided. Or this has been said to me dozens of times. Hey, Mike, my team's not functioning like a team. What do you think I should do? I love that question, because it comes back down to this principle that we're talking about today. And to even drive it home a little bit more, the principle, it's not even a principle that I came up with. But if you're someone who follows Jesus or follows Scripture, or even if you don't believe in Jesus or believe in Scripture, this is still a principle that could hold true for you like it does for me. In Mark chapter 3, verse 25, Jesus said, a house divided against itself can't stand. A house that's divided against itself can't stand. Another way, or maybe I took that idea and brought chapter 37 out of it. The goal is not agreement, the goal is alignment. A house that's not aligned, it's going to have constant friction. It's just going to be being torn apart. It's true at home, it's true at work. An organization that's constantly in friction. Now there is some good value in having friction. Absolutely. There is some good value in having some disagreements. Yes. Which leads me to chapter 38, which is a quote from Andy Stanley, author and speaker and pastor Andy Stanley. He says, disagreement is unavoidable, but division is a choice. Disagreement. So what do we do with this as leaders? There's a great quote that I'm going to leave you with today. It's by Jeff Henderson, and it's about casting vision. And he says, where the vision is rarely repeated, it's quickly forgotten. A vision that's rarely repeated is quickly forgotten. So for us, what we do is we try to keep the main thing the main thing. Like, we lead with the mission, what we're trying to do, the problem we're trying to solve, the way that we're trying to do it. We lead with what's most important to the customers that we serve, to the people that we serve. And when you're leading at home, we lead with what's most important as a family. We want to lead with what's the most important thing. Not I want you to please me or make me happy. That's not it. Alignment. The goal is not agreement. The goal is alignment. And my question to you, leaders, is your organization divided, or is it being divided? Because that's different. When we're being divided, that means someone is taking the power, we're giving them the power to come in and divide us against each other. And I call that a culture vulture. Someone who gets on the inside and tries to separate for their own gain. A culture vulture is not a unifier. A culture vulture is someone who's trying to exploit something that they see as weakness to get their own personal gain from it. Different video for a different day. But it brings us back to the point. The goal is not agreement. The goal is alignment. So how are you leading your organization towards alignment? Leave in the comments below. I'd love to hear it. What's one thing that you're doing to ensure alignment or more alignment in your organization? Have a great day.